The 26-6 Carolina Hurricanes took on the 19-9-4 Pittsburgh Penguins at PPG Arena tonight. It was reported shortly before the game that Sebastian Aho and Brady Shea would both be out of this one, and that Antti Raanta would be in goal. After not much to talk about in the first, Jalen Chatfield would get called on a penalty against Sidney Crosby, and the Canes would go on their first penalty kill. 40 seconds into that penalty kill, Sidney Crosby, of course, would score in the net. Antti Raanta would make some good efforts, but Sidney Crosby was just at the right place at the right time when the puck bounced around and he put it right into the back of the net. And 15 seconds later, Calvin DeHaan, with the pass that was going for Stastny, went past Stastny, banked off the wall behind the net, and Necas was right there to put it in. And 17 seconds later after that, Jalen Chatfield with his first goal in the NHL. I am so happy for Jalen Chatfield. He's been working so hard, and I've been waiting for this first goal of his. Wow, in the span of 17 seconds, we're up 2-1. And not too long after that, the Canes would go on their first power play after the Penguins get called on for tripping. I was trying to take notes during this, and things just kept happening, and I just couldn't keep up, along with the screaming, of course. Everything decided they wanted to pick up in the final 4 minutes of that period, from a Crosby goal to Necas and Chatfield scoring within 17 seconds of each other. I thought after that Crosby goal that things were going to be a little difficult, but no, Necas and Chatfield were like, let's put this team on my back and let's go. It was awesome to see, and I can't wait to see what hopefully comes later on in this game. The Canes wouldn't be able to capitalize on the rest of the power play to start the second period, but 3 minutes into the period, we would get another power play off of a high stick on Kokniemi, during which a scuffle would happen between Nason and Brock McGinn. Let's be honest, Nason would whoop that ass. After that scuffle, Necas and another Penguins player would go into the penalty box, both being called for slashing. But of course, the refs missed the obvious trip on Svechnikov, but of course, the Canes would draw another penalty, this time for holding, and the Canes would go on the power play. During the power play, Burns would be called for holding, and if you looked at the player's face that he was holding onto, it looked like he was dying. So there's that. But then we would go on the 4-on-4. After we killed off the remainder of that 4-on-4, Calvin DeHaan would also then get a penalty, and we would go on yet another penalty kill. The Penguins would get some good looks during it, but Pesce and Slavin were unreal in their blocking, and Pesce would draw a penalty. A little bit later on, Raanta would make a great save against the Penguins, and the Penguins forward would actually run into him and push him down, drawing yet another power play. Just power plays and penalty kills, power plays and penalty kills. And of course, Brock McGinn would score a shorthanded goal with 10 seconds left on the power play. 2-2 all. The story of the period was a lot of penalty kills and power plays. It was a lot, and nothing was really happening except for, of course, being on the receiving end of a shorthanded goal. A positive that I would take from it was Chatfield, who just looked physical and looked aggressive during this period against Crosby and other players. And I'm really happy that he's on our third pairing, to be honest. The third period would start with a good Martinook chance on goal, but Jarry with the incredible save. Necas would leave down the tunnel 4 minutes into the period, but thankfully he would come back pretty soon. Nason with the pass to Stepan, who had a good chance on goal, but Jarry with yet another great save. He has been the Penguins' best player tonight, in my opinion. With 11 minutes to go, Letang would get his stick caught into the bracket of Jarvis' skate, and Jarvis would hit hard into the goal. How this is not a penalty, I will never know. The trainer would come out onto the ice. Jarvis thankfully would get up and skate on his own accord back to the tunnel, And believe it or not, he actually would come back not too long after and play the rest of the game. Rust would beat Martinook to the Canes goal and score on Ranta with 7 minutes left in the period. 3-2 to the Penguins. But never fear, Jordan Staal is here. He had a wraparound goal from around the net right past Jari with 4:26 left to play. This is his 10th goal of the season. I love you, Jordan Staal. After some good chances from both teams, the third period would end 3-3, and we are heading into overtime. And 23 seconds into overtime, Slavin with the goal. This is also Brent Burns' assist, making it his 800th point for his career. Awesome. Man, this was stressful. The club stayed focused, and they stayed calm, and they didn't let the leads, get them down. This is now the Canes' 7th win in a row, and their 13th game straight with a point. This now ties the franchise record for games straight with a point, and hopefully they can go into tomorrow with at least one more point to break that franchise record. As a whole, the team looked great overall. We just really need to work on the penalties that we're taking. We're going on the penalty kill just far too often. The next game will be against the Philadelphia Flyers at home tomorrow. We will be working on our 14th straight game with a point to break the franchise record. From all of us here at Hockey News Tonight, I'm Logan Brock. Go Canes! Sorry.